Hello, we're live with Around the CFM podcast. We're a little bit later than expected, but also a lot later than expected. Uh, Guys, I'm going to put up live now in the meet chat. Can somebody please go on and make sure that you can hear both me and
Mate.
the two-time winning MVP, Daniel
Yep.
Shaw?
What?
So, got quite a lot on tonight. It's going to be really exciting. I mean, podcasts are a wee bit like London buses in the sense that you wait for one and three come along at once. We're going to sit down with the Bears head coach Niall McKillop, who's reached his first Super Bowl after his first title game, after his first divisional win. Year of firsts, something he's never done, win a Super Bowl. Could be his first this year as well. He is going to be joining us shortly, we hope, for a good 30 to 45 minutes of, I mean, in layman's terms, Daniel eviscerating every single aspect of his season this year and the previous 8 or 9 seasons before that. Should be good. I'm really looking forward to it.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's about right. Because I've seen the line of questioning that Daniel wants to go down, and I think it is largely fair. I haven't seen John's yet, but Niall's seem largely fair. There's only maybe one question in there that will have Niall glaring at him. The other ones are all valid points. Daniel, any overview stuff to go over before we begin? Obviously, we're waiting on Niall, but we can talk around the Bears until then.
Nah. I want to wait. Don't want to be. I'll blow my load.
Oh yeah, want to keep the powder wet or dry. You keep powder dry.
You keep powder dry.
You do keep powder dry. Your powder will be wet after you get through the both. Though. So yeah, I'm just waiting on confirmation that people can hear us both before we get into any serious topics. But yeah, the overview of the night is we're going to be interviewing Niall. Now, then about 9 o'clock or so, give or take, we're going to be on with John McGuinness, the head coach of, who's the head coach of now? Houston Texans.
Houston Texans at the minute.
Might change between now and 9. Yeah.
Who knows?
He is in his second Super Bowl. He is the only coach in history to have won an NFC title and an AFC title, which is ludicrously impressive when you think about it. Yes, Adam's here and Zach's on. Brilliant, and they can hear us both. Hello, lads. It's a pleasure to speak into the void towards you. So yeah, we can do a bit of an off-season preview rather than discussing the season, because obviously there'll be review points that come up in the next hour or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited. The ball.
I'm excited because we've got, I mean, the same excitement we had in August. It was like, oh yeah, we've got all these new coaches. They're about to hit their first regular season. Now they're about to hit their first off season. It's so many guys going through the draft for the first time. James Cameron is the one I have two coaches I really want to see what they do in the draft. James Cameron's a big one for me because he went 12-4 with someone else's roster and someone else's team, and it's not a great roster.
No, it's not a great roster by any means.
There's a cracking amount of defensive turnover on it as well, in the sense that Von Miller and Chris Harris, among others, are out the door.
Yeah. Don't know, it's gonna be weird to see next year. I'm excited. Obviously, there's a lot to be excited about. But at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to losing certain people next year.
There will be holes that he's not necessarily aware of right now that will appear.
I don't know if he's ready to fill in the draft as well. Von Miller, he's losing Von Miller, isn't he?
So far as I mean, he could be listening and he can challenge us in this, but so far as I'm aware, Von Miller and Chris Harris are among two of the highest profile.
No, Von Miller
non-returners.
is huge,
isn't it? The guy was nearly Defensive Player of the Year, at least garnered some votes.
Which I think it's going to be massive for him losing Von Miller, but I don't know. I'm excited to see him have the cap space to build a new pass rush, but yeah, I'm excited, but at the same time nervous for Denver without that defense. I don't know if Barry B. Benson is ready to carry the team without a defense.
Careful.
But at the same time,
Don't be mentioning Barry B. Benson when Niall comes on.
I do.
We are to steer clear of that.
Will trigger him massively.
No,
he will start. throwing things.
We're here to talk about football. He can keep his politics out of this conversation.
Is disgusting. Just draconian, disgusting politics that Niall believes in. You know what you believe.
James Cameron is
And it
asking, do
makes
we
me
have
ill.
franchise tags? Yes, you can pick them up in Clinton cards. You
Yeah.
get them in the wee packs of 10. Oh, franchise tags? No. Yes, we all have one franchise tag that we can use, provided that we have the money.
Yeah, I don't think you can just throw the tag on anybody. Oh, no, it is just that comment, doesn't matter. Yeah, you can franchise tag if you have the money. But I don't believe... In fact, no, Denver should have a lot of money if they're losing Chris Harris.
Yeah, cap space. Well,
Yeah.
that's why I don't see him not having a problem with the franchise tag, or don't see him having a problem with the franchise tag, because he's losing two key pieces in D, so surely he can afford to pay one. Not necessarily one of them, but
I don't know if I would... I definitely wouldn't be paying Chris Harris.
no.
I would be paying
he
Von
could-
Miller, though.
yeah. I mean,
You can't imagine that Denver team in the title game without Von Miller. It's tough. Von Miller literally forced a fumble into Sean Watson to win him the game
no.
that he didn't go on to win.
He could have won the game. We're not talking about that either. This is happy hour. We'll turn in. So, I mean, we're at 8:15 now. I was hoping to do this for like 45 minutes, and
Yeah, I'm bored already.
I know his timer's going to expire at 9 o'clock, and he's going to scoot.
I don't
Just
want...
for anybody else that's been watching this before, Niall, you can watch this bit
John,
back
would
tomorrow.
you say he's feared?
When we get back onto this tomorrow and Niall gets a chance to watch it, we have been on for time. Daniel has questions ranging from nice questions to nasty questions, and he's going to end up, if Niall's much more than about 5 or 10 more minutes, it's going to look really awful when Daniel hits him with like 5 back to back. What are you going to do about that? Huh? Questions. And I don't want it to come across that we are targeting one particular head coach, but if John gives us 45 minutes, then we'll have time for fluffing questions as well. Chris Harris is getting sent to hell. Breaking news: we are sending Chris Harris
Christ.
directly to hell.
Breaking news: Chris Harris is signing for the Raiders. That is amazing.
Start with the nasty. Adam, if we keep going, we've no time for the naughty and nice. Just the naughty.
We'll just be bastards, yeah. I'm happy enough for that.
I am also trying to run this like an open mic session as well. So I presume Adam, James Cameron, and Zach are listening. If you're listening, PM me, not the meat chat. We have problems with this with the pick'ems. PM me with questions, and I will funnel them to Director General Daniel. And like, if you have a particular question, if we bring something up in the middle of the discussion, and you're like, "Oh, brilliant! I want to ask about this. How does he react to this?" That I will pass your questions on anonymously via Daniel. John, it's worth saying that if you send me any questions for Niall, I won't pass them along. Same as we won't let Niall message any questions into the group during John's discussion. If you guys want to have your wee bitch fight, it's 11 o'clock is the ring walks officially for that.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. Very excited.
So, Media Week is brought to you by the Shitbox COVID 2020 Annual Pro Bowl,
Oh, I can't wait for
of
it
which we are
tomorrow.
having our inaugural tomorrow. We would live stream from the event, but we don't have the means or really the effort to want to do that.
Yeah.
So
Because everybody who wants to see it's there.
yeah, anybody in the meat chat is going to get the result, because James Cameron and James Earls will celebrate when their team wins it, and if their team doesn't win it, then I will probably remove the two of them from the group. So we'll know either way how it goes down.
What to look forward to there, James's.
I have an anonymous question already, and whoever I've sent is going to know is going to know exactly who it is, and I'm going to make sure that question finds its way in. I mean, it's definitely anonymous that I'm going to pose it as, but I'm pretty sure that even Daniel will struggle to make that question come across as anonymous.
I'll do my best. But yeah, that's not looking good.
Do, 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 do.
I will try, but there is only so much anonymity I can add to a question like that.
Daniel, we're just college football spoilers. Just mute the stream there. What's the latest between the Red River?
Don't want to talk about it.
Oh God, he doesn't want to talk about it. I'm assuming that
Moving on.
OU does not suck.
They do.
They do. They're doing all right. Like
They are.
you know, OU were favoured by like 2.5 by Vegas Bet.
Our Russian leader is 11 yards and 2 carries.
Who's your head coach, Mike McCarthy?
How the fuck do you do that? Like, in college football. Anyway. No need to
So
be talking about all that bollocks.
carrying on with the off-season preview, this is. Do you know? I have a real feeling, Daniel. I don't know about you, but I've nowhere else to be. I have a real feeling we're going to stream here from 8 o'clock through to about 11:30.
Well, a certain person can just wait for their call if Niall's not on soon.
Well, no,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm assuming you
I meant to
you
ask, do you wanna
must
start a
you
football
must mean
manager
that
save there?
John has to wait for his call, not somebody else.
Do you want to start a football manager save there?
I might start a football manager save now to help pass the time. If I'm
Does
honest.
anybody want us just to stream our football manager save instead? Send assistant. That's what Niall's done. Send assistant to this.
Send assistant to the presser.
Uh,
It's Bill O'Brien. So with
I was gonna say you're fucking busy.
oh, that's a wonderful anonymous question, and I can that
it?
will come across anonymously, and we are getting that in there. Might open with that. A wee bit of pizzazz. We'll see.
I like that question.
That's a good question.
That one's easy to come across as anonymous because any dickhead in our group would ask that. Lovely. Great job.
So let's go to the off-season preview. So the other team I'm really excited about is Zach, because he's got, like, before the draft and free agency, I feel like he's got the quarterback. As long as obviously Niall will honour the Herbert trade for whatever it was agreed.
Was it two bag crisps and something?
No. Adams' agent.
No.
It was 4 first-rounders
Yeah,
and
It wasn't a full bag
a
of
couple of
crisps.
acres of land. I don't know, a lot. It was a lot. It was a decent enough trade, to be fair.
James Cameron himself. Oh no, I can't even send it to him on Instagram because he doesn't like that page.
Christ.
Fucking arsehole.
So I feel like the Giants have the quarterback that they need to challenge for the East. I'm really excited to
Yeah.
see what happens in the East.
All he has to do is tell James Earls there are 2 games or playoff games. And he'll walk.
See, James Earls is really good. PvP.
Playoffs.
I think James Earls could win this Super Bowl. The problem is that he had to play Niall beforehand. I think that's it. I think it's just that he can't beat Niall.
Oh, so he'll win the Super Bowl 4 out of every 6 years.
Jeez Christ, 20 past 8. Right.
We are 5 minutes away from, you know, the rule that used to be if your teacher doesn't show up for 10 minutes.
You just get to leave.
Yeah. 5 minutes time.
That was all uni was.
Yep. 5 minutes time. Adam's playing John the ball.
So let's do a quick season review of highlights for teams. So we'll start with the Raiders. They beat the Chiefs. That's that done. Any other?
Josh Jacobs didn't get a season-ending injury for next year.
True. I actually really like the Raiders. I'm looking forward to doing the Hard Knocks with them. That's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
We're doing Hard Knocks for each of his preseason games and maybe the first 1 or 2 regular season games. Like I said this before to Adam, I wanna cover him into the regular season, so because then you get games that count, but not like 3 or 4 where it's dragging on. The Bears head coach has just pulled up into the car park here. Hang on, I'm just waving to him there. It's a broken down old wagon
The
he's
noise
driving.
of him pulling out. Yes, it's the Bears.
So gotta get that invite sent to him now. So stream set up, but it might drop for a wee second or two video wise. Hang on. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
See, they're all level 307 and stuff now.
Yeah, no, I'm 219 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy PlayStation trophies are now worth, I don't know, like the exchange rate on them is
More than
ridiculous.
euros,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I have more PlayStation trophies than I do money. That's a lot. 217 trophies. It was only like level 18 last night.
Hello, sorry about that.
Greetings, head coach of the Bears, Niall McKillop. Shh. Everybody socially.
hang on,
That crowd is socially
And
distanced.
then everyone clapped. Amazing.
I want to make sure I'm coming through the audio okay through Twitch.
We have
yeah,
quite a
no
number of people on that should be able to let us know. We have up to and including 5 viewers. This is quite exciting.
Well, I'm one of them. Yes,
Anyway.
I'd like to apologize for that dinner ran a little bit.
Oh, you're
you're fine,
fine.
don't worry.
Life happens. So let's just get the niceties out of the way first.
Okay.
Congratulations, you're in the CFM Bowl. That's mental.
you.
Good for you.
The toxic bowl.
The Toxic Bowl. Immediate thoughts on reaching the CFM Bowl.
Long time coming. I feel like I've connected with this Bears team better than any of my Texans team outside of the Bursin Whedon year. Um, I really think that part of it has been being able to put my own mark on the team and us not moving straight to Madden 21 as soon as it came out and losing all the hard work I'd put into the team. I think I'm finally get to see the fruition of that.
Yeah, I'll
And
echo that with you, especially with your receiving group. Felt like this was the coming out year. Everybody
Yeah, it
clicked
would
at
have been
the
weird
same
seeing
time.
Herbert in another team. I'm only winding
yeah,
up. But no Rigor, for example.
No, Rigor Higgins and
Ridley.
Riley Ridley have all clicked at the same time. By week 12, they all went, we're all really good now. And that wouldn't have happened a year ago, because it didn't happen a year ago.
Plus having to pay Mitch again and stuff, it
Yeah.
just would have been.
No, exactly, yeah.
yeah. I've struggled. I would say the receiving core of my team is probably the thing that has changed the most. It started off with Gabriel and Miller and Allen Robinson, and
Yes.
they are all great talents, all of them, but just didn't
Gabriel's
work
not.
quite to my strengths. Gabriel worked well for me. Gabriel was a workhorse for me. He put in a lot of time, and it just didn't work out quite as well. And then when I shipped Robinson, I was a slightly awkward position. Miller went to X receiver because he was tall, and I think that was the year I drafted Rigor. Was that off season? So Rigor was sort of floating between Z and slot, and then Gabriel was between Z and slot. Then I shipped Gabriel and managed to get Higgins and Ridley. And I've had a bit of time working with them, and it's just, it's really worked out. I think the Anthony Miller, if I've got my seasons correct, and the Anthony Miller injury was this season, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I think he's gone to a team. It showed me what I could be without him, and
Yeah.
that Higgins was a good pickup, and I do think Higgins can be a good, if not great, X receiver for us. And it gave us that look away from Miller, and he's been shipped to a team which late in the season, about week 8, I think it was, um, been shipped to a team that I think next season will really use him. Because, you got Robinson and Miller back together.
Just trying to think who the third receiver is there. Just sorry for the silence.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to think who the third guy is. Is it Renfro? Renfro's making a bit of a comeback now that I'm out of the building. God, I hated
Yeah,
him. I mean, I do love him in real life, but my God, he's just so short and mad.
kind of cost you the game against the Bears in season 1?
Yeah, no, no. Well, it should never come down to the last play of the game, but yes, he fluffed the last play of the game.
Yeah.
Daniel, would you have anything else to add, or we're going to start with these questions?
It is motherfucking question time.
Where's Fiona Bruce? It's question time.
Everybody get your David Dimbleby Sting tattoos out.
David Dimbleby with a Sting tattoo. Amazing, right?
Well, it's not a Sting tattoo, but it looks like it.
It's a Sting. It's a Sting tattoo.
Okay. Question 1.
Yes.
The Bears offense,
Yes.
can it put up more than 30 points in the bowl? Because
Yeah.
I think it will need to.
I also think it will need to.
I'm not gonna give away any game plan, but 100%, I've identified what I need to do to put up more than 30 points in the Super Bowl, and yeah, I see no reason why I couldn't.
Well, you've already touched on it a wee bit. I mean, if you don't want to give the game plan away, I'll give it away for you. Don't worry about it. You've got the wide receivers required to go vertical now. This doesn't mean you're going to come out in 4 verts every play, but when the run is stuffed, because the run will be stuffed, it's a player versus player game. Doesn't matter whether you're playing John Stoops or Adam. You've got to run the ball first and foremost, and it will eventually be stopped, with the exception of the Giants Saints game. The run will inevitably be stopped, and you'll have to go vertical and key third downs to win the game. You have the pieces to do that now. So
Yeah, I mean,
theoretically, I
some of-
believe he can go over 30.
I think Riley Ridley is one of the most underrated wide receivers in this CFM. I think he doesn't get the respect he deserves at all. Some of the catches, even in the Saints game alone, were absolutely insane. Went up. I can't remember exactly when in the game it was, but it only happened the one time, so it shouldn't be that difficult to bring to people's memories. He went up with a Saint on his back, one-handed grabbed, pulled it into his body for a big gain. Like, he's incredible. He's such a workhorse for my team.
So we have an anonymous tip question. I'm going to try and alternate
We
between
have
Dan's
two?
questions and no, I want to alternate between Dan's questions and
Oh,
anonymous
alright.
tip questions. We get through them.
Fuck
So
me then, sure. Right.
we have an anonymous question regarding the NFC title game. Daniel, if
Okay.
you want to phrase that the best way you can.
Okay. Without disclosing who sent this question in. No, you can have this one in. I have no idea how to word that, honestly.
Is
Yeah.
the question going to be if Adam didn't have kicking leg, do I win the game?
The
Is that
question, the question is the question is generally that you've been quoted as saying kick lag wasn't a factor in the game because you made him kick. So whether there was lag or not, you were forcing him to punt anyway. And during the game, the Saints missed the PAT and were on the 1 yard line at halftime and lost the game by only 4 points. The question is still anonymous, by the way. Like that doesn't necessarily tip who it would be from. Just what do you make of comments saying that you're wrong when you say that kick lag wasn't a proper factor?
Well, I might have been too, what's the word? Absolute. It definitely played a factor, right? But I still believe if the kicking lag wasn't there, I win the game because I had the ball at the end of the game. You know, I made the Saints defense punt.
Your
Sorry,
drive
Saints
to get down
offense
there,
punt.
and it was a Khalif Muhammad. I'm not sure who it was, but the drive to get down there and throw the angle route for the go-ahead score was a really impressive 2 minute drive. Like outside of the game, no matter what else happened in the game, it was a really nice way to finish the game.
Yeah, I mean, if I hadn't deserved, oh, excuse me, if I hadn't deserved the win, I come out empty on that drive, you know? Because up to that point, that drive, I was behind at the start of that drive, you know? So, yeah, no, I think fair enough, you can't say it was completely not a factor because, but you can only play with what's in front of you. And
True,
I made
it's
a
not like
punt.
you didn't force the lag, and I don't think I don't think anybody's accusing you of that. But yeah, I mean, lag. I mean, would it be fair to summarize your points as lag or no lag? The Saints were still punting on fourth and long more often than not.
Yeah, yeah, because it's kicking lag. It's not offense lag or defense lag. If
So you're saying
you're,
he had a third and long that he on whatever occasion he could have converted.
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to put any disrespect on Adam. Adam's a fucking
Oh, for
contender.
sure.
He's a class player,
He was
and
in the NFC title
I
game
was
yet again.
I was stoked to beat him. And in fact, I was stoked to be hanging with him. And the win has definitely given me a lot of confidence. But yeah, I still think that game things were clicking for me, and I think it's unfortunate that this win is probably going to be asterisked with the kick and lag whenever it gets brought up in the CFM chat in the future. But
For me,
I
it's really
deserve
not
that
the
win.
kick and lag game. For me, it's it was I think it was a third down or fourth down maybe, and you threw a back shoulder comeback to Higgins, and he catches it and just instead of being tackled short, he just sort of rolled around and then picked up a huge 20-yard gain. That's how
Yeah,
I will remember that game. A superhuman play that wasn't on you or the thrower like that. Just the receiver just making a big boy play for you, like just
My
smart.
turn, yep.
Uh, yeah, back on. We'll go to your question too then.
Okay,
I've still
John.
got other anonymous
John
questions to
has
ask.
been critical of you, to say the
sorry,
least.
Jock.
Breaking news.
Like Stephen Nolan at a petrol station. Do you feel like he's been on your back this week in any way?
On my back?
Has it been weighing on you at all?
No,
Like
not at
like
all.
like
I
a
mean,
Steve Young monkey off my back moment.
no,
Obviously, it'd be a lot easier to get off
because
your back than Stephen Nolan would be, but you know what I mean.
I mean,
Stephen Knowles getting some rinse into this
not
podcast.
really. See, whenever you are constantly calling someone a nonce or a cunt or blind or whatever,
Or a blind
after a
non-Scot,
while,
for
after a
example.
while, it
For
just
example.
becomes white no it becomes white noise. I think the best way I can describe it is, and I've this came to me like 2 days ago because I'd rewatched Deadpool 1. You know the
Great movie.
bit where Ryan Reynolds, before he gets put in the oxygen deprivation chamber, turns around and goes, "That's the thing with round the clock torture. You can't really go anywhere else from there."
Yeah.
It's the same as that. It's once you go with round the clock being a complete toxic twat. I mean, what do you do next? You know,
So you
where
would
do you go
describe it
from
as
there?
round the clock torture?
No, I wouldn't describe it as round the clock torture. That's just the best analogy I can come up with. I mean, he's just
I got it. I'm
a
loving the
You're,
analogy.
murderer.
you're, so
I love
basically
the
what you're
movie as
saying is
well.
he's a round-the-clock twat.
Yeah,
Would be a
exactly.
fair way to put it.
If you want to dispute that, just write into the podcast. We'll just throw it in the bin. It doesn't need disputed.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you want me to go for another random question, or do you want to go? No,
No, no, no.
go with another one of yours.
How do you plan to stop Deshaun Watson?
See,
Unfortunately,
now
it's
we're
not the
get-
same as Russell Wilson, where you let him stop himself.
See, I really want to answer that question,
But you want to answer it more on
is.
Sunday.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
let my players answer it for me.
No, that's
I
fair. That's
definitely
fair.
have. I've been since I knew John was coming to me in the bowl or wherever, like we were meeting each other in the bowl. I don't actually know where the game's being played.
Neither day. I assume it's Florida. Probably. I don't know.
Probably, but I have been thinking about it. I've got defensive plays and defensive strategies in mind to contend with Deshaun Watson, but I don't really want to say it out loud.
No, no, no. I get that way. We are going to push and probe for questions here. But if you've got things that are like game related, you did it with the. Can you put up 30 points as well? That's fine. It's your prerogative to not
Yeah,
reveal game
100%.
plan stuff.
I just know that
Um,
I know John will answer the question.
Don't be
Be like, of
apologising
course
for it.
I've been with cover two.
Just
Like a
don't be
fucking arsehole.
apologising for anything like that. I mean, no one's
mean-
doubting that you can't stop Deshaun Watson. You were the Texans coach for 4 years, and he was crap. We know you can neutralise him.
That's fair.
No, but no, we're not looking for game plan stuff. But okay, but let me ask it slightly in a different way. Do you think it's more important to? Did you watch? Have you seen any of the highlights from Patriots Chiefs the other night? The
I have
football game.
not.
Okay, then you'll have to take my word for this. So the best way that we did it the same way the Chargers played them in week 2 in Herbert's debut. We rushed 3 and dropped 7 or 8 into coverage as much as possible. So my
Yeah.
question for you about stopping Deshaun Watson without trying to give anything away, would you rather send pressure and try and get in his face, or would you drop as many people into coverage as possible and try and contain him? What's the primary focus? If you are
Personally,
happy to answer
I
that.
think it needs to be a bit of both. If you're constantly doing the same
Yeah,
thing
that's fair.
over and over and over again, unlike John, I will pay John a couple of compliments. John is a phenomenal Madden player, and if you're constantly dropping back, if I come out in my cover 3 buzz every play, because that's a good overall coverage, he will eventually see the holes in it and just hit them there every single time. So you do need to swap things up. I think if we can get hands on Deshaun Watson, it's free turnovers. That boy does not have any hands to hold on to that football.
He has
But
he's
at the
ridiculous. I don't have the exact number. He's got a lot of turnovers this year through picks and lost fumbles that would back that claim
Yeah.
up.
So I think it's important not to drop everyone back, because then he just runs for 10 yards and then eventually first score.
Sure.
But if you send everyone, then you get hit with the Will Fuller post.
You know that. I mean, we're not trying to give people's game plans away. You know that tight doubles, Will Fuller, big post over the middle of the field is coming.
Yeah.
It will come. He did it to me twice in the bowl, and he did it to Adam in the title game that year as well.
Yes.
It will come out.
That is John's signature play. Goes from hit with him from team to team. His signature play.
Devontae Adams did it before, and DK Metcalf, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The signature play on offense is the rollout either side post, depending on which his favorite receiver is on. Obviously going with the receiver, and on defense, it's the linebacker lurk.
110%.
You
Don't be
know?
mentioning linebacker again, though. You'll upset James Cameron. Anyway, we've got another anonymous question coming in. So this is you put yourself in the middle of the Super Bowl game. This is a scenario one. So
Okay.
you're up 38-7 in the fourth quarter.
38-7 in
You're
the fourth quarter.
up by 31 points.
Okay.
Your father demands that the cows need milked, and you must turn off the PlayStation 4. What happens next? That's it. It's someone has legitimate. I'm not happy about it. Someone has legitimately asked that question, and it needs answered.
Okay. How long's left in the fourth quarter?
I
Just the
that
start?
they are very vague on that. It say it's opening the fourth
We'll
quarter.
say it's the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would probably pause the game. Just like I would say something and chat or whatever. I'd pause the game, and then I would go talk to my dad and tell him I need like 10 minutes. I'll be right there. Just give me 10 minutes, and then I would proceed to finish the
I
game.
like to think if you didn't pause it, you'd still probably win about 38-24. Because you would give up so many delay game penalties on offense that eventually he would score a safety off those. But like with the amount of clock run off, you'd probably be able to milk a load of cows and come back and still be in the lead.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't really
mean,
sweat that.
my I know this has gone down for the first half of the season as my historically worst defense, and I get that.
Well, that's mostly because
But
your other defenses were so good. I'll be the first to say.
but we have turned a complete corner. It was because we were bleeding the run, and since we took Fletcher Cox on deadline day,
Yeah.
trade deadline, it's completely turned around. Our We lack turnovers a bit, but we are a fantastic tackling
That's okay.
defense.
The
It's like,
offense you're playing will give you some for free.
yeah, I mean, it's like I put my own soul into my from flag football into my defense. We're great at tackling, and we can break up, contested footballs. But we are. This is probably going to invite a lot of runs from the Texans coach, but we have definitely shored up our run defense a
he
good bit.
did
And I know,
open
run
the
defense, but we
he
really, really did.
he opened the AFC title game with no less than 11 consecutive runs to start the game.
Yeah.
I would expect something of a similar vein.
Well, we'll see. It depends what mindset John goes in with this for me. If he's going in thinking this is Niall and I want to put up as many points on Niall as possible, every play is going to be a fucking will forward post.
Well, that's one thing I want to close on. We're on to Daniel's next question here, but the top three guys that are the favourites in my mind for the Pete Rozelle Trophy to win the Super Bowl MVP are Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller the fifth, and Fletcher Cox is my top three.
Okay.
No, one defender has won it. I think it's only Akello Witherspoon is the only
Yeah.
Are you
defensive. So
talking real life or CFM?
no, CFM there
CFM.
only is one defensive player before this. So Fletcher
Okay.
Cox is as good a shot as any.
That's beyond my knowledge, that one.
Is there an emotional tie for you going into this bowl because it's against the Texans, or is it just like you're playing any other AFC team?
Um,
Good
there's
question.
always an emotional tie. They are my team in
Yeah.
real life. I do love the Texans. Um, but this is gonna sound like real copy outy. I'm gonna get called on this one, but it's the truth, so I don't care.
You definitely will
I
now, but go on ahead.
I, I will always love the Texans in any format, even whenever they're coached by John. If they win, it would be bittersweet for me because at least the Texans got the Super Bowl ring. JJ Watt's got a ring. Hopkins, my favorite players of all time, but it means I lost. I don't foresee myself losing, but if that was the way it went,
But you haven't
but
envisioned a scenario that it's bittersweet and the Texans win.
yeah, I mean, you can always look at both sides of the ball, but or both outcomes. I think it's unlikely, but I've looked at it. But for me, generally, I'm trying to go in with it as they are just little virtual men running about a field, and I
Yeah.
am going in for my first CFM bowl win. If I injure JJ Watt and Hopkins, I don't give two fucks if I get
Uh,
the win.
okay, well, there's another anonymous question, but I'm gonna go straight to Daniel's next question just because you've mentioned old
Injuries.
Jeremiah Jones. What?
Let's hear it.
Is JJ Watt a better addition to the Bears next year with a ring?
That's two
A,
questions in one. I
a,
like it.
Yeah.
a better addition?
Yes, would it be better for you to add JJ Watt in the offseason if he had a Super Bowl ring? So it's a twofold
No,
question.
I mean, not really. He'll still be the same player. I would if I can pick
He'll
him
have
up for
seriously regressed. He's played a whole year in John's D, and John does not give a
uh,
toss about D.
if if JJ Watt and I can work something out, I could foresee him being a bear. Of course you can. He's my favorite defensive player of all time, if not my favorite player of all time. It's a really close tie between him and Hopkins. But I don't think him having a Super Bowl ring changes his performance on the field.
So you're not more or less likely to sign him depending on
Depending
the
on the
result of this
result, yeah.
game. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Fair
No,
enough.
not really.
Fair. That's valid.
So next anonymous question.
Yes. Anonymous question coming in. This is nothing to do with cows or milk, so probably get a quicker answer out.
Whew, thank
Uh,
God.
you went 1-3 this year
I
to
did.
start the season. Now, while one of those losses,
One of those
I
doesn't
do want to
count,
point
yeah.
out it was the Browns. It doesn't count, but you were 1-3. It wasn't your fault you were 1-3, but at one point your franchise was 1-3. Now you're in the
Yes.
Super Bowl the same year. First of all,
Yes.
well, that's bloody impressive. What changes did you make between week 5 and yesterday, really, to bring you to this point, outside of the obvious addition of Fletcher Cox?
That
Because you got better before Fletcher Cox came in as well, by
yeah,
the way. It wasn't like you
that's a
went 1
real
and 7, then signed him.
that's a really good question. I really tried to identify what was going wrong with my offense more than I knew what was going wrong with my defense. My run defense was bleeding me.
Hmm.
Um, and I really tried to shore that up as much as I could, calling, different defensive fronts, looking at not just what the opponent was coming out in, but down distance and time in the game. Really tried to look at my defense a lot more uh, all encompassing rather than just, okay, they've come out with 3 receivers, I put on nickel, oh no, it's a run, oh, I've only got 2 linemen out, oh, they ran for 10 yards. That's what was really
That
burning
was
me.
1-3 Bears, yes.
Yes, and then I really started using my offense a lot better. I feel like I don't know how to coach talk sliders because they are just little virtual sliders, but uh, Mitchell Trubisky has been a little bit more errant this year because he is a lower level quarterback, and
Mm-hmm.
you get an odd errant throw a game does not make, you know. I but you could have like a wide open 20-yard bench route to Burton, and then it gets thrown into the sideline. You're like, for fuck's sake, that sort of stuff was annoying.
Yeah.
But my O line really stepped it up with run blocking. Old Mumu started going off quite well. He started posting up 100-yard games, but I think a lot of that was also, I don't know what it was. It might have been when I talked to you, Ian, about how to run a counter effectively.
Yeah.
My brain really clicked on looking at run defenses, and if I think this play is going to work. Now, there is the odd time when I call maybe a dive and you've got a really heavy run look, and I can't, but it also looks like really good. It's one of those weird defenses where it looks like it'll stop the run really well and stop the pass really well. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what, I've just not risked the turnover. I'll run the dive, maybe get a yard, and then I'll come out next play, you know?
Yeah.
The odd time I'll run into a bad front for something like that, but I've started, mathing runs out a lot better, and then while Burton was my only 1,000-yard regular season receiver, that was when Ridley and Rigor and Higgins really started to step into it for me. I think if you looked, I don't have the actual numbers, but I would think if you looked at Burton's numbers, say week 6, from week 1 to week 6, I'd say he's probably a lot more heavily targeted than from like week 7 onwards. I'm not saying he's going to have been eliminated because he was my only 1,000-yard receiver. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get him open on a seam, I'm going to throw it to him. But I definitely started looking through my progressions on offense a lot better, to help move the football.
I think you quarterbacked your offense more efficiently from like week 6 onwards.
Yeah,
And when I say quarterback, I mean that's as simple as getting to the line of scrimmage, seeing that your center's uncovered, and being like, let's just dive it. Because
yeah,
the center's going to have a free double block, and then spotting the wide nines and being like, okay, if I can, like you said, the counter, if we can just send Burton across and tube him, then we were able to pop it here rather than just going through a run and going, we're going to run counter now because we haven't run that in a while.
Yes, which is definitely the way I did run my offense at one point. I was like, counter, and then just ran it, you know. I like to math things out, like talk things through when I'm
Yeah,
streaming my games.
I love watching you streaming as a coach. It's really good.
And also, I think around week 6, 7 was when I added the face cam, so maybe that's got something to do with it. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe seeing myself on screen just gives me a little confidence boost. Who knows?
That's me. That's me on the TV.
Oh, look, that's there I am. But no, I think we made a lot of good adjustments.
Okay, final question from me.
Okay.
And then we got some quick fire
Two
questions.
guys who left the Bears in the off season, Eddie Jackson and Trick Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tomorrow could come down to clock management and also to
Pass the
who
ball.
can.
I think it's fair to say, but your
Yeah,
point is that the two of them would definitely
A
help.
lot of his plays are going to come down to going over the top.
Yeah.
A safety like Eddie Jackson and a back like Trick Cohen. Are they guys that you feel you might miss tomorrow?
Scott's tomorrow.
Especially with
That
the
is a-
backfield injuries.
That is a great question. I would say if I had to miss one of them, it would be Terry Cohen solely because of the
Yeah.
injuries. I mean,
Also, he could well have been injured anyway. It seems like a running back
exactly.
Yeah.
back
True.
room injury thing. I don't think he's a huge miss either.
Yeah, I think our running back coach needs to be investigated for either filling our players with brittle bone syndrome or just working them too hard so that their bones are ready to crack. But Tyreek Cohen is. It's strange. Tyreek Cohen left us just as we were figuring out running backs a bit better
Yeah.
in Chicago with our O-line. Now, Mumu has been fantastic this season. After he had really struggled for the first month, but after the first month, he really started to kick it into gear. I feel like we're gonna miss Mumu more than we'd miss Cohen because with John's style of defense, you're really having to mow people over rather than juke them. And I feel like Mumu is a lot better at mowing someone over rather than Cohen. Now, in saying that, Cohen's a fantastic back, and I hope he's happy wherever he is. He was just too expensive for us.
He's at the Colts, and he's not.
Well, that's it. I have a lot of love for Tariq Cohen. He was fantastic when he played for us. We just couldn't afford him. He was a cap hit penalty, as was Eddie Jackson. Now, I remember what I count as week 2, but it was actually week 3 because my game with the Browns, had been simmed.
Yep.
Ian, put it in the chat because Bubba Bolden got either burned badly or he got shoved over on a tackle or something. He made a mistake, and I was like, Eddie Jackson is sitting at home with milk coming out of his nose.
Probably. That
Bubba-
sounds certainly like something I would say.
Bubba Bolden started rough, and he knows he started rough. We took him because of his combine numbers, and we knew that he had the physicality to back up the safety position that we needed. And it was just his actual play needed adjusted, which is great. If you can run, the fastest of all the safeties in the combine, we can teach you how to play safety. And I think he, for me, is the best non-cowboy. In fact, he is outside of who won defensive rookie? Lars.
Oh, Gio and Lars
is his
Woodby.
name?
Lars Woodby.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Outside of him, I think he is the best defensive rookie in the league.
Well, this is
And-
why you're a master of blacking out. Like you said, that white noise, just not listening to people shouting at you because. This is why you're the coach in this situation and I'm the fan. I'm like, oh, we should have Eddie Jackson. He wouldn't have got beat there. And then you get to week 17, you're like, oh, see, the rookie's panned out and we're saving a lot of money.
Yeah, and this is the thing that I think the league won't be, but I think they should be scared of. He is still a rookie. He is going to be huge for us, and I think he will serve us fantastically in the bowl. Absolutely fantastically.
Okay, so some quick fire points
Sure.
before you go.
Will we go alternate?
Yeah, you go first.
Oh, God, no. When I said alternate, I meant give me time to think of one. You go first.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, quick fire questions. that we're doing just to get a response. 10 minutes of absolute whammies, then we'll let you go.
Okay.
Okay, whammy number one. Khalil Mack,
Yes.
defensive end, pass rusher, outside linebacker, coverage guy, corner, strong safety, milkman. What's his job on Sunday?
All the above.
All the above. God, he'd be a good milkman. Daniel, go.
Fuck, just a big yawn.
Big yawn.
Um,
No, you got to ask
that's
a
not
question.
my question. No.
Yes.
If you lose tomorrow,
Yeah.
will John be the most unbearable man in the world?
Oh, he's alright. The most unbearable man in the world. No, he'll be the most unbearable man in the world with a Super Bowl ring. That's not going to happen, so I don't need to worry about it.
Right, my next question. Niall, if you win tomorrow, will
Banger.
John still be the most unbearable man in the world?
That doesn't fucking bother me. I beat him.
Brilliant.
He can be as bad to everyone below us, but he can't say shit to me.
Jenky will retire if you win.
Good
Oh, I
question.
hope so.
I'm asking him that as well later. 100%. I hope so is the right
Okay.
answer. Let's see.
Will you retire if you win?
Um, you know,
That should have been a straight no. That you've answered
No,
that already.
No, that shouldn't have been a straight no.
I'd be lying if there's been times during this year where I have considered it. Like, there's just it's
God,
been,
what if John retires now?
no,
Well, no,
no.
I don't
If I lose, I won't retire.
Oh, so you're basically saying it. Oh, this is breaking news.
No,
He's
it's
basically
not.
saying
If
if he
he
wins, he's
loses, he
retiring.
won't retire because he hasn't won a bowl. If he wins, I think it's ridiculous to say that there's any coaching league that if they won a bowl, especially Niall's been in the league. It's not like it's Niall's first year. Niall's been in the league a while. If Niall wins a bowl, I think it's only fair to say
Every
consider
year.
retirement.
It's
Like,
ultimately probably not because win or lose in the bowl, I think that my
Who said that?
my team is completely coming together, and this is the most fun I've had, despite the noise you get in the background. The most fun I've had with my team in Yonks because
is why
I really had a chance to put my mark on it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's I would say it is 99.99% I know, but there's always that question mark.
Yeah, no, I thought it would be really weird for you to go, whether you win or lose. I think it'd be really weird for you to drop out because, like, for the same reason you just said that your team's coming together. I think you're in your prime. Like maybe next year
Yeah.
you lose the title game or you lose a tough divisional matchup, but you're certainly you've got to be right back in the mix as one of the top six teams in the NFC.
going out in a
'cause-
bowl isn't the
Yeah,
worst thing. I don't
no, going out in the bowl's not the worst thing. But if I'm Niall, I'm like, Christ, let's have another crack at this. He caught Adam sleeping once before. He's going to beat James Earls in the playoffs next year if he does match up with him. The Bears team's only going to get better. It's another Nile draft, another influx of young
At the
players.
same time, though, you win this year. Is it really worth another 16-game slog if you have the ring?
Answer me no, because I literally left for the same reason.
Yeah.
But my Raiders team wasn't coming to fruition. We fluked a Raiders Super Bowl win, and then it was crap.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Yeah, no, I mean it is highly unlikely, but you gotta cover your bases.
Yeah, 100%.
Another question, Niall. Free agency and the draft opens yesterday. You can add one player from the NFL to your team tomorrow for free. Any player from any team. Who do you want?
Active, like, are you talking
Don't
like
get-
legacy people or
No. Someone that's in the league. They can be hurt or whatever. You can say David Montgomery if you want, but literally anybody from any other team anybody from the NFL that's not a Texan, you can add them tomorrow for the
not a
game.
Texan? Damn.
No,
there
you,
goes that answer.
no, you can't take Deshaun Watson and sit him on the bench and go, lads, it's in the bag. No, somebody else from another NFL team you can add to the team. Go. Who helps you tomorrow?
Alex Anzalone.
Shout.
because
Absolute
him-
shout.
Him beside Raekwon Smith. If Alex Anzalone came in, it would be Kawatowski that would get benched. Him
Yeah,
beside
yeah.
Raekwon Smith would be an
Oh, I didn't expect you to
insane
pick somebody from the
tandem.
rest of the NFL and not start him.
Yeah, it would be an insane tandem. Know what I mean? It's not Raekwon Smith that's getting benched. It's Kawatowski. Kawatowski's
Yeah.
great, but he's not Alex Anzalone.
He's not Anzalone, no. It's not
Yeah.
defensive player of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy enough, I think. I'm really looking forward to the head-to-head debate.
God, I'm looking forward to that debate myself.
I think that'll be good
Yeah,
fun.
I don't know. It won't be dead on 11. It could be like half 11 or whatever. But I don't have anything to get up for tomorrow, so I can be on
Yeah,
Late, like.
John says he's off tomorrow.
what's your
So
absolute, and I now don't answer this the same way. I'm going to say the same to John later. Don't say a 50-0 win and a 50-0 loss. Like, read the teams and read the game. What's your absolute best case scenario tomorrow and your absolute worst case scenario?
Um, my best case scenario is probably win by 3. John and I go back to
Right?
back to back to back, and then I have the ball at the end and get it to the 30, 40 yard line on his side of the field, kick the field goal for the win. I think that'd be a great watch for everyone. It's a convincing win. We've hung with each other. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's a win everyone could go home smiling with.
Fair.
Worst case scenario would be like a 64-3, 12 turnovers kind of
You
game
you going
because
down the same way the Ravens went down in the
I
divisional
will
weekend?
never win. I will never hear the end of it. I mean, if I lose it all, I'll never hear the end of it. But
That's
sure.
true, but it's what I call it's what I call it's a Super Bowl win or loss for you tomorrow. It's a Super Bowl appearance, which is more than a lot of coaches have ever had.
final
Yeah.
question,
Yep.
and it's quite a weighted question. User partying tomorrow, yeah.
I'd imagine so.
Um,
The bowl generally
I,
parties.
the, I remember the way we did it for John Ian was that we created a party and someone streamed, but both coaches kind of muted the chat or didn't participate in the chat.
So what you're saying is, if John's feared again, the coaches won't participate.
Um,
I would
personally,
like to do it slightly differently. I'd like there to be like a party with everybody in it, and then a party with the two coaches that we can hear over Twitch.
yes, but if you do it like that, then the coaches won't hear what was said commentary-wise in the game when they listen to it back. They'll just hear the two coaches. If you
That's
get what I'm saying.
that's the issue.
True. I would
personally-
love the two coaches to be partying with each other, like we did with the NFC title game.
I'll go whatever way everyone else goes, to be honest.
I'm sure
but,
this comes up in the discussion later on between
Yeah,
the
so
two
it's
of them.
pretty much if John's not a bitch, it's happening.
I mean,
And that's
'Cause that
not-
was the thing
I'm
last
not,
time,
I'm not
he
saying
didn't-
that's your words. That's my words.
Yeah,
Like,
he didn't want to be on with me at all.
Yeah,
in our ball.
he didn't want to party with you, and he didn't, and he lost.
well, see, to be honest, I can see where he's coming from. I'm 50-50 on it myself because I think I like having my own. It's an important game. I like having my own headspace in that. If I'm in the chat, I will be focused on what's being said back to me. You know, I can be influenced. I'll get talking. I'll get giddy, and I'll make a mistake.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
I like when a bit of crack is going. You know,
that's my advice to you as someone who's been in bowls and has made mistakes off the back of it. If I were you, I would check your phone at half time, and I'd say to John as well, because I said this to him for hours: don't press and hold X to sim halftime. Read your phone and just take 30 seconds away from the screen. It was so important for me in that bowl because I'd throw in a turnover, like I threw an interception to John after the 2 minute warning, and I got to halftime and I was like, gonna go get a glass of water. Need to breathe.
I mean, the way I was thinking about doing it if I was to stream, because I stream with like my face cam and all, is I might
Oh, I'd hope you get that.
just
Yeah.
turn my volume coming into my headphones right down, but leave my mic on, so people could still like hear
Party
me
off the
and
back
see
of it.
me.
Right. Okay.
People would still be able to hear me and see me. Now it'll be a mess because I won't know what the fuck you guys are saying. So to me,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just be talking over everyone.
yeah,
But,
everybody would have to know Niall can hear you, or Niall can't hear you, but don't be asking him
I'm-
questions or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still able to talk. Like if
Yeah.
anyone was to watch the Twitch.
Yeah, it means
fallback
we
or
could get
whatever.
your feedback on it and we could discuss it without interacting with you because it's not great for
Exactly.
everybody to see. That's the thing. That's why we want you and John on together, but we don't like. It's not great to have the whole party on there. That'll be terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
mostly because it just. If you don't believe me, look at any of Stoops' fourth quarter games where people party with him. It just comes right off the rails.
So that's the way I was thinking of doing it, is I'll join the party and just turn my headphones down so that I can't hear anyone, just because I think I need to be, it's my first bowl appearance, it's against a really good team, I need to be with me, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. The only other thing I want then before you go is just any. I don't want this to come across formal or anything, but just any closing remarks. Just this is the last time, like I say, because you're going to be shouted down later by an absolute nonce king. This is your last chance to speak to James Cameron, who maybe you owe an apology to. Zach and Adam, etc. This is your last chance to speak to them before you go live, because you won't be addressing them in the debate. The debate is really just the two of you guys, and we just listen to the back of it.
Oh, it's
So
Biden Trump. I can't wait.
we are just the fly on Biden's head.
Pence
So,
has said.
Pence's head. Sorry, this is the last.
Mike Pence calls his wife mummy.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
So like
This
a
is your last chance
personalised
to.
address to everyone.
Yeah, and not like people of the CFM. I will not let John win a bowl. Not that's what they want to hear, but just
Okay,
make it your own.
I think okay. So to James Cameron, Ian is right. I do owe you an apology for the bee slavery comments.
I love that that's public now.
You have done phenomenally well this season, and I could totally see you in the bowl next year. You just need to. The only mistakes you really made were rookie mistakes, and they're far more. They're far easier to fix than if you're 6 or 7 years in and trying to figure out what's still going on. Adam, I had a great game against you. Fantastic season. I really hope you don't feel like you got diddled because of the
diddler.
kick lag.
The diddler. Whose nickname was that for a while? Was it James Cameron's?
I hope you didn't feel
farmer.
like I hope you feel like it was a fair game. I feel for you on the kick lag, but like I said, I still feel like the result would have been fairly similar. Zach, absolutely cracking season. I hope Herbert comes over to you brimming full of confidence and plays so that you can get in the playoffs next year.
Herbert might go to him with a Super Bowl ring, come to think of it.
Yeah, you absolutely deserve to have been in the playoffs. You got a killing run. Stoops, I hope to see you in the playoffs next year. You just need to finalize that 2-minute offense. Every player team is a contender. Even Nick. I mean, Nick had the worst season, but he's still happy to be here, still smiling away. He gets a proper look at a draft this year, being able to put in the pieces that he needs. I can see Nick being in the playoffs next year. And to James Earls, I'm your daddy,
bitch.
You just need to shore up your playoff issues. You need to shore up your Nile issues.
I was just waiting on Niall busting one out and be like, you're shite.
No, I'm not, John. You just need to sort out bring your regular season play into the playoffs. Did I miss anyone? I'm
just letting it hang there until you realise that you might have.
Stoops, Adam, James, Nick, John. Well, I've got the debate with John.
I was gonna say no.
You
can't really comment on John because John's season's not over.
That's fine. John's season is not over.
Yeah.
That is in your hands.
Everyone has had super positives this year.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing you all or whoever I see in the regular season next year. Which will be Adam and James for 2 of them at least.
Oh yeah, we already worked out who everybody's facing, but anytime Adam tells me it, I make such a bloody Horlicks of who it's supposed to be. I'm not going to try and guess that I know them anymore. Let's just leave it at that.
Imagine if
okay.
I play AFC West and go to no, I play AFC East. I think Adam says I play AFC East if I remember him correctly. So I don't actually there's no player teams there.
Okay.
Unless one of you two come back.
Nope.
Ian to take the Dolphins to the Super Bowl.
Anyway, we've already done our next season preview. I'm not going to say anymore. Okay. If that's everything, we would very much love to hear from you again about 11 o'clock or so. Stay in the chat and...
Yeah, like I say, it's probably more likely to be about 11:30, to be honest.
Oh God, how will we get John to fill airtime? I'm sure we'll work it out.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna listen to John's one until after the Super Bowl because I'm not gonna hear it live tonight and tomorrow's Sunday. So
God, if you listen to it after the Super Bowl and you win, it might be funny.
Definitely be funny.
Definitely be funny.
Nonce, no cap, pussy, dick, nonce. I made out with someone of questionable age. There you go. There's John's.
Fuck, we don't even need Johns now, yeah?
There's the closing statement we wanted. Right, okay. Yeah, I'll chat to you in a bit then.
Okay, talk to you
Take it
later,
easy,
guys.
man. See you later.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
See ya. Guys, we're gonna keep this. We'll keep the stream open.
No, we'll close the stream because then we can save this as Niles.
You wanna close it and go again?
Yeah.
Texas have a lead against OU.
In overtime. Don't
OU sucks.
yet. No,
Right.
No.
You've
Don't jinx it.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna kill this stream now. I've been Daniel. He's been Ian. We will get it bitted up hopefully in the next 5 minutes or so once we hear from John. I'll post live again in the group when we go live.